Hello, 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 and welcome to this week's edition of Modeling Joe's Arcade. Today we are going outside of the normal room. Just a little stretch of this back hallway needs to get modeled because the game Trap Shoot is in it. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that here. Going to go with, for this week's music of the video, Everything to Everyone by Bare Naked Ladies. As usual, I'll throw a link to a playlist or something that's got it in the description if you're interested in checking it out. That's what I'm listening to. Anyway, listening to it quite loudly. So, yeah, I guess without further ado, we'll go ahead and get this going here. So, this hallway looks like this on the outside. Here's the door to the main area, and then just a hallway with some of that tile pattern, and the game in question is hanging right here. So I have got a sheet of paper in front of me that has got the dimensions for how this tile pattern gets offset, and then in addition to that, I also have, see if I can find it here. This original piece of notes that has some information on the spacing of these pillars and where those are located. So, going to work off that, and as usual, I have to try to interpret my wonderful scratch notes. Take a look at this picture again to kind of get the feel for things. So I'm going to start off by jumping back to my model, and I'm just going to create a plane here for the floor. It's going to be over wide, and we'll correct that later, but I think I want to get the the pillars in and then really worry about the floor. Go ahead and put that on the floor layer. There we go. Okay. And then I will pull up my notes. Flag or placards. So there are these two posts. Those are spaced at 142 inches, it looks like. Taking a look back at some hard copy notes here to see if I've got any other information on that as well. Sure hope I do. There we go. Alright. I'm blind as a bat. And we've got our second monitor toggled in here. But here's what I was looking for. Information on how big these poles are and where they are in reference to the door. So these measurements would be from this point and coming out 3.75 inches and 7 inches. That's where we've got this pole. Well, 24 sides ought to be okay. It is a 3.5 inch diameter pole, so that's 1.75 inch radius. Check that because it's always easy to be wrong. And we'll extend that up to the roof here. And good. That worked. And we will look to pull a metal texture for this, I think. Yeah, they're kind of a black metal. This seamed metal might be just about right. It's kind of light though. So I will create a new material off that and call it metal seamed dark. And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to make it darker. Like that. I think that works really well. I'll cap it off with the texture, just, I don't know, because I feel like it. But that looks about right. It really is like a painted black metal, but this metal texture I think conveys it pretty well. Oh, what is happening here, huh? So if I move that, never fails to have problems, huh? Let's undo a little bit. Oh, I want to redo that because I don't want to have to make that texture again. Alright, we're just going to start over from scratch. It's like I start every episode just starting from scratch on something. 1.75, and then we'll extrude that thing up to here. I must not have triple clicked on it, I think is what happened. And now it doesn't want to texture because I have no texture selected. Boy, oh boy. I think I just started using SketchUp yesterday. Alright, there we go. We have a properly constructed pole here. Let's move that over 1.75. And how does that look? This should be 1.75 there. And there we've got it. We got one of our poles. And then taking a look at this here, looks like we've got 142 inches edge to edge, and this 7-inch actually looks like it was to the center of the pole, not the front edge. So 1.75 move back, and then check that, 7 inches to here should be correct. Yep. So I can move this guy 3.5 inches and then move it 142, and it's about where it should be. So obviously I've extended past where I have my floor model, which is okay. And this helps me get perspective there to here. It does look like it would be 7 inches. So I think I've got that correct. So, alright, this is kind of the area. There's some ductwork up above, but not going to worry about that. Really just after these two details here. And we'll go ahead then and work on getting this floor in the right place. So, I drew this. I don't know that I'm going to end up using it. I think I might copy this piece of floor actually. And these should actually be on the details layer. So let's change that over. And what I'm going to do is this origin point here is like just about the start of a tile. I'm going to adjust this thing so I have like the start of our tiles, which are 12 by 12 if you remember. Is this how I want to do this? Let me play around with something for a second. If I make a face like this, and then I go to texture it with my floor texture, how actively can I position this origin point? Pretty actively. Alright, this is what I should be doing then, because these are 12 by 12 in theory, or 9 by 9. Ceiling tiles are 12 by 12. Floor tiles are 9 by 9. There we go. Good thing I double checked that. So this is scaled correctly though. And yeah, it's going to be easier to manipulate this than this giant bulky floor thing. So this piece here, and these are just measurements that I'm working off of that I've got in front of me, but I have this offset for the tile here. Oop. So let's take this texture and I want to position it like that. I'll go 9 inches in, like that. I'm going to delete this. So I'm starting with a black tile at the corner here. Do I know exactly what I'm doing? No, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. And what happens, out of curiosity, if I drag this? The texture kind of like extrudes from it. That's perfect. That's actually exactly what I want. So this initial row here is like a partial tile. It's 4 inches wide. So currently I have this at 9 inches. Let's just draw another 9-inch thing here and isolate this all the way down to just a single tile. And I want to move this back 5 inches. And I'm starting to see an issue here because these tiles are not checkered in the same way as these tiles. They are actually I know this isn't really communicating anything, all this humming. But I think I may have uncovered a fundamental flaw in the Joe's Arcade model. So let me see what's going on here. I'm looking for a picture of the door. Look at that! I can't believe that I haven't caught this up to this point, or that I haven't been called on it. We've got these tiles in here. They're all at double the scale, or half the scale they should be. So I've got to fix that too while I'm in here. Let's turn the ceiling off. And let's turn the walls off. I've got my texture set with the origin point here. Which was just kind of this arbitrary point in the model. That's down here. And that origin point is a white square. White, white, black, black. So, yeah, I gotta fix that. Definitely. Ooh, that's really something there, huh? Let's not do that. Let's not do whatever was happening there. Let's actually get this the right way. So I'm looking for it to snap on me as I double the scale, but it doesn't seem like that's happening, huh? So might have to get a little bit creative, I guess. Texture, position. But I can't draw a line while I'm positioning the texture. Can't say I'm surprised. But can I just type in 2? No. So let's try something else. Yeah, I've got my grip for equal size. Control does no snapping. I want snapping. I think I have to go back to my measurements to identify that origin point. So let's do that. Inches. Definitely an unexpected twist here, I will say that. You never expect to uncover a fundamental flaw in your model when you're just getting to the end of it. And so what I'm trying to do is backtrack where my origin point for this is exactly. I think I know what I must do. Maybe. I think I need to edit this thing. No, see, it is 18 by 18. But, I mean, it's just very definitively not correct. I think I need to double the size of this. Be 36 by 36. Does that look right? Let's see what we've got for photos. Pretty typical thing with photos is not having the photo of the thing that you need. But this could give us a decent frame of reference. My details obviously are on. If I turn my walls on here, and it seems like I have a couple things on the ceiling layer that I would prefer not to. Might adjust that at some point here. But I see here a black tile that spans kind of 1, 2, 3 of these panels. 2, 3, that looks plausible. In fact, it probably is these 3 panels here. So yeah, it looks like this width is correct, and it just was set incorrectly before. But that's resolved, I would say. I'm going to open GIMP though. I think this is a job for some serious image editing, and I may make a tweak to this texture, and for sure going to create a quick similar texture that reflects the pattern that I'm going for outside the door here. So let's go ahead and open Joe's Arcade textures, and previews are not very helpful. Tile floor. I think that's it. Okay, yeah. And what I want to come in here and do is grab just like a pretty colors. I want to grab a gray here and a normal pencil brush like that, but smaller. I think a single pixel is what I want. Yep. And there's a way. I haven't been using GIMP very much lately. I have not used GIMP very much lately, so I've forgotten how to draw a line. Let me see. Hold down the Shift key. Click the endpoint. All right, let's try it. First point. This is something about GIMP that the first time I started using it, it took me ages to learn how to draw a line, but now I do know, as evidenced by the fact that I had to Google it. Let's see what happens if I make 2 of these gray. Might be a little extreme. But I think ceiling tile seamed. I don't want to do that. I want to just save this and export a PNG. Tile floor seamed. And my word, what am I trying to accomplish here? It's 128 pixels. $127, 128. So what's 128 divided by 2? $64. So I want to find 0.64 or 63. And I want to come up to here. And down to here. And I want to go 127 plus 64 is 191. I'm creating the seams in these tiles. I'm just going to see how this looks. Since I already am digging back in, this is like completely way off track from what I was expecting to be doing. if that's not clear. I'm just freewheeling. But sometimes you just got to do that. This is 128. 128 minus 64 is 64. And 128 plus 64 is 192. Because there's an even number of pixels here, it's not possible to make it perfectly symmetrical, but it'll be real close. And let us make this a little bit darker. I think I lightened it up too much. And I'm going to grab my bucket tool and darken that a little bit. So let's export this to PNG. And we'll replace that. And export it. And if this looks nice, then I'm going to keep it. If it doesn't, then I'm not going to worry about it. Let's try using tile floor seamed. How does that look? That looks okay. I think we'll keep that. A little bit of an improved tile floor texture there, but it helps you see that it really is individual tiles. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And because when they look like just giant checkers, the scale looked a little bit off to me, is what drove me down that madly unexplained rabbit hole. So with that then, I do want to save this. Apparently, I have to like forcibly overwrite my previous XCF. Oh, you know what? Because I didn't have an XCF for this, so we will call it floor tile. And since I know that I'm having to make another one here, floor tile 2x2. Okay. And let me see now. Next thing that I want to do is just prepare a slightly different version of this. So that this rectangle is 128 by 256. So that is half of my space. I will copy it. Paste it like so. But this is interesting. I still want the seams, but these actually are, they're like 9 by 9 by, I guess basically infinite patterns. So I'm going to grab the color picker tool. I'm just going crazy freewheeling with this thing right now. We'll go white tile, white tile, white tile, white tile. And oops, that's open. Grab my color picker again. And I'm going to do that. And this is going to give me the result that I'm after, I think. Yes, it will. So we will save this as floor tile 1 by, well, okay, so it's really 1 by 4. And the other one was really 4 by 4. But you know what? This is, yeah. I think future me will be able to figure this out. And I say that very confidently. Tile floor 1 by 4 seamed. And we'll export that. For all the struggle that these are giving me, these textures do look pretty nice. And we're starting this over for the second time. It's definitely one of those days. And we will create a new texture off of this one. Tile floor 1 by 4. And I will grab my 1 by 4 seamed. And I think this I want to truly be 18 by 18. No, I think I wanted that to be 36 by 36. And I've got a tiling problem there, see that? So that's not ideal. 36 by 36. Ah, that didn't do anything. Texture, position. Need to rotate this guy 90 degrees. And position it like that. But then I do need to come back into my GIMP here. And I need to add a seam in 2 places or 1 place. Let's take a look. I need a couple seams, I think. So I need one either at the top or the bottom here. This is 63 by 64. So the top here, I think, can use, yeah, 63. So I need a seam at the top. Pencil tool is N. That's the shortcut that I was remembering earlier. And something's going on because obviously I cannot can't really draw with the pencil tool right now. But why might that be? Let's try to anchor the layer. Nope, nothing. Change some opacity. Nope, nothing. I'm on the layer. It doesn't appear to be locked. It is because that color is wrong, I think. Maybe. Nope, that's not it. I can no longer draw. Challenges abound. Let's just save this thing and reopen it. Sometimes that'll fix this kind of thing. Aha! It did not fix it, but it gave me perspective. It's because I've got a selection area. So, let's try it again. Grab that, and then I will pull this over. And there's my seam. Then I've got a seam here, 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 and there. So my black tile there's got the gray. Okay, yeah. That should be what I need. So I'll save this and then I'll go ahead and do an export. It's my tile floor 1x4 seamed, and we'll export straight away. Let's try reloading this into SketchUp. And there's my line. This line just doesn't show up very clearly because it fades into the black, which is fine. I mean, that seems to be what's going on. At least I think that's what's going on because that line's definitely there. So we'll close that. I think I had set that texture at an origin point. I have indeed. So let's move this 9. Because I want to be starting from a black tile here. 9. 9. Okay. So we have got 5 inches this way to leave us with a 4-inch long tile, which is the point that we were trying to get to about 20 minutes ago. And this tile gets placed up here. I have to try to match that up as well as I can. There we go. And something here is not 100% on, because my previous picture here would indicate that I should have black tile here, white tile there. So what I can do to remedy that is I can move this thing 18 inches. This is risky. Let's just take this. I'm going to move it over 200 inches. And it is a rectangle, thank goodness. So I can go 18 inches. 18 inches. And then I can move it back 18. Oh, too far. Move it back 18 inches. Move it in 200. And there, we've done it. It's in the right place. That was a little bit of a hacky way to accomplish this, but I'm going to go with it. 9 inches. And so really this is offset 2¼ inches. And there we go. After much to do, I would say this is in the right place. So now, hopefully it's an easy run. I'm going to zoom in a bit here so I can see how many tiles we've got. We've got our short tile here for the door, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles after that. So a tile being 9 inches, 4 times 9 is 36 inches, so 3 feet. And that looks visually about right to me. And we've got tiles that go here. Let me take a look at one more thing here. Looks like we've got one more tile because I counted this tile as my short tile. Nine, but then the trick is this tile comes in here to the first full tile. So let's just move this 12 inches so I can kind of see what's going on. That would be about 5 inches in. So if I move that 12 inches back and I push this in 5 inches, does that throw everything in here off? I would say no. It's not quite 5 inches. If I can get a little bit of extra width out of it here. Yeah, I would say that works. We don't get into a new tile quite there. And this point, we'll have to anchor directly to that. Okay. And that looks spot on. So looking down the hallway again, yeah, we have our one inside and then one, let's count this, one inside and then one, two, could be deceiving, huh? Let's see if we've got anything good for video footage here. That's what I need. And right at the very beginning I did look down that hallway. But I'd like to make sure that I get that width correct. Let's see, what have we got here? Please, oh please, look down while you go forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is my guess from the video footage. And the one other thing I can do is kind of visually compare to this pole, which I know is 7 inches off, so that would be about here would be the seam. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. Sorry for all this flip-flopping, but I'm trying to get it as good as I can. 36 inches, and that's about right for the width of the hallway, it seems like. Okay, so back to my picture here. Just past the door is where our last tile is. We've got this tile, and then this last one here. So 36 inches is where the tiling ends. Ah, I've lost my texture. Excellent. 12. 12. 12. 12. There we go. Now we can extend this as need be. And I do want to go back to this video footage here to get an idea for the length of the hallway. So right by this pole, I've got a white, this second pole, which is way out here. Got a white tile that starts, and then after the white tile, should have done this as a even length extrusion. So the white tile is at 1/53 153 inches. Is 153 divisible by 9? 153, yes it is. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 more tiles after that, so 27 inches. So there's that. Then this wall extends. We're not going to worry about the door, but I will go ahead and just push it to a uniform width here. 24 inches back. And there's our wall panels. I think we had a uniform length for this longest one. Figuring it was 9.2 inches. (9.2). A little bit hard to see that line in there. But I have that just a little bit too long. See, we're very close there. Just make it a touch shorter. There and there. Okay. And I will anchor that here. And then we're extruding that up like that. And there we've got our paneling on the wall. And I think that'll about do it for what we're looking for out here. At some point, maybe this will get expanded to incorporate more of the area, but for now, this is what we're going for. So that was quite the roller coaster of a modeling session there. But in the end, and I thought of one more thing that I can do as well. So I think I'll make that finishing touch, which is just that could expand this ceiling, I think. By doing a quick bit of ceiling modeling. And that seems worth it to do. Obviously the ductwork is up there, but I gotta find my ceiling tile texture. Just there. These should come in not quite at 1x1s, huh? Sure hope these did. Look at that. Those also didn't come in at the right scale. Got problems upon problems with texture scaling, it seems like. I know I got those walls right because those are, well, those were measured individually. But ceiling tile, 18 by 18 was giving me a 9-inch. So a 24 by 24 would give me a 12-inch tile. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Fortunately, that was a little bit easier of a fix than the floor tiles. But getting that scale right is pretty important. So okay, I would say that is going to go ahead and be a wrap for this. I've got some extra scrap pieces here that I don't need. I'm going to delete those. Got plenty of them laying around the model now at this point, if I ever needed more. And yeah, a little bit of hallway that ended up being 4 objects in about an hour's work. So high five, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Modeling Joe's Arcade.